Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again, and I'm excited to get to some of the questions. Okay, I want to pass now to another question from another patron, Rob. Again, Rob is somebody I get to meet with monthly and have the regular hour-long discussions with Rob. And again, I love hanging out with Rob. I just love being there. Such a warm soul, such a bright mind, it just pleasant. And that sounds sort of trivial, but it's pleasant to be with. You know, he's the kind of person that you know how sometimes you realize, I do, because I suffer from rejection sensitivity disorder and social phobia, and so I'm carrying around something like armor all day, and to do mindfulness on it, and that's one of the reasons why I took up all these practices, right? And then, but there's a part where I go, in deep meditation, I feel that come off, right? But I get that same feeling when I'm with Rob, that. And I think that's a blessing. So thank you for that, Rob. Here's Rob's question. If a reasonable wish, I love this is good. If a reasonable wish granting genie, so you can't ask the genie. My first wish is an uncountable number of wishes. If a reasonable wish granting genie could ensure the outcome of one project you are doing or would do, and this outcome would be the result of 10 years of effort and happen 10 years of now, what would it be? For example, what is a larger scope outcome of your impact on culture that would be interesting to see manifest a good time into the future? So I take it that the invocation of the genie means that this extends beyond what I see as currently available within the grasp of my rational planning. So I'm going to take that is the intent of the invocation of the genie. The project I would most like is if the religion that is not a religion became a viable home for stealing the culture. And what I mean by that is that my work and the work of others working with me contributed to affording all these emergent communities of practices and all these new emergent ecologies of practices around enhancing meaning, cultivating wisdom, reducing self-deception. And they found a way to organize such that they were bound together, religio, in a culture that offered a way of being and living that was satisfying to the perennial human needs for wisdom and enhanced religio and communitas, and at the same time enabled people to get free from the modal confusions and the cultural cognitive grammar that tears people apart, fragments them, destabilizes their sense of realness, and does this in a deeply coordinated fashion, both individually and collectively, but in a way that was in consonance with, but nevertheless in deep dialogue with, also the scientific worldview on one hand, and the traditional religions to which we owe so much on the other, in a way that all of the participants in that dialogue felt was fruitful, respectful, generative, insightful. If that came to be, that would be the most I could want for all of my efforts to succeed in. If they could bring that about, that's what I would like. Where people got a real sense of this is a viable way, and it never, we can never see the emergence of the next culture while we're in the culture we're in, right? And sometimes it's taken centuries, but a lot of things are happening much faster. because of the increasing acceleration of the pace of everything. So I hope that's not grandiose. I certainly don't see myself as like the founder or leader or something of what I'm talking about. But if my work could help in concert with other people, many other people, and I'm meeting more and more of them all the time, if all of these, I don't know, it's almost like if all of these sounds suddenly found their natural frequency and came into concert into a symphony, not a homogeneous noise, a cacophony, but a symphony of new intelligibility, a new way of being, a new culture for people, that would be what I would most like to see.
Saruman believes that it is only great power that can hold evil in check. But that is not what I have found. I found it is the small things, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keeps the darkness at bay. Simple acts of kindness and love. Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. But it gives me courage.